Yeah, he
Like,
Hash grabbed him or talked to the guy at the end when basically everyone was done buying and they had
oh,
no
that's
value
great.
left. And the guy was like, "Oh yeah, you can just have them." And so
Oh, that's huge.
he had just spent them all to get his sheet, and then the guy just handed him back 2 sets so that we could
Nice.
frame them. So yeah, I'm real excited.
Yeah, I saved 100, and that's it.
Yeah,
Like, the rest is just too much value. Yeah, but
yeah.
that's cool. That's a great memento.
They were a lot cheaper than they were at Milwaukee because
Oh
they
yeah.
made them so much easier to get because they were
Mm,
giving them at the event rather than you having to wait in line for a half an hour to get them.
yeah.
So it was ideal for Richmond to be driving distance from my house. I was like, oh, okay, well, this is if there's ever a time to try to get it,
Yeah.
this is the
Yeah.
time.
Every DLC is a little different. I think that next time I go to a DLC, it will. I'm gonna try not to be the first one in the season.
But then
Or at least not.
you get to see all the improvements from the first one, though. I think that's like the magic of being in the first one of the season.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter if it's the first of the season if it's the same vendor
Right.
as the previous season. The
Yeah.
Milwaukee was rough because Pastimes just had a lot of learning to do, and it showed. And I do feel like they learned a lot. They made a lot of good changes going into Richmond. Was it perfect? No.
All right.
But yeah.
All right. Sorry about that. I needed tea. I had to
You're
have
good.
tea.
Yeah.
All right.
Had to have tea.
I had to have
All right.
it.
What's on the menu today?
It's gonna be a fun show. So we're gonna talk a lot about Whisper spoilers, just our weeks, etc. And then Matt Dixon, who's here already, is gonna come in. We're gonna talk about Ink, and then near the end, we're gonna bring in Ed Chu, and we're gonna take a look at spoilers. And we're gonna talk about cards we think are gonna be good and bad, etc. So I hope the audience chimes in and gives us some cards to look at because I don't know, it'll be fun.
Mics are hot.
So, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about Mahalo because that's so funny. All right. Should we do this?
Let's do this.
Let's do this. Have a good show, everybody.
Take it easy. See you in a bit. I almost have it right.
I was like, oh man, the pose is gonna be so good.
I know every week I'm like, I'm gonna time it better, and then I don't. But there we go. Hey, how's it going?
We're gonna get it eventually.
Yeah. Sorry we're late, everyone. It's because I needed tea. It's really what it came down to. It's that kind of night.
Hot beverages are what everybody needs on a cold Monday night. How's the weather where you are, by the way? Because it is frigid up here.
I mean, frigid is really relative for Texas. It seems weird for me to complain about it being like 31, but anything below freezing in Texas is kind of short circuit. So it was cold today. It was below freezing. It stayed icy most of the day, but it's fine. I mean, it's fine.
I'm just saying, I've been in like -4 weather for like the past 5 days.
Yeah, no. So yeah, again, it's relative here because we really can't complain. Except I think like the entire city of Austin, last time I checked, owns 2 snowplows. So just to put it in perspective, like why would you spend money on it when you need it like once a year? But yeah, when it freezes, everybody just kind of like stops moving for like until it thaws because there's no infrastructure to support it.
I mean, that's kind of the way it was in Tennessee when I lived there. I lived in very rural landscapes, and we had little to no plan if like a heavy snow came. So the couple of times I did in my life have like a heavy, like they didn't even have trucks to go salt the roads or interstates or anything. So you'd get on any main road and just ice immediately. Whereas like now I live in Iowa, and you'd think, in a very rural town or area, they wouldn't have a lot of like snow mitigation, but they do. Like the weekend we got 12 inches. That day the interstates were just completely clear within like 3 hours. It was crazy.
That's awesome. Yeah, thanks everybody in California and Florida shouting out. It's like 40 and 50 degrees out there. I appreciate you all. Although,
yeah, I was talking to Colors Law today, and she was like, "Yeah, it feels like 40 here," and I was like, "Wow,
yeah,
what a struggle you're going through."
yeah, it's so hard. Although, yeah, to be fair, it's probably what you expect when you move there. And then shout out to Steve again, who listens to us often in the mail truck and is always rocking shorts there in New Hampshire. So appreciate you. Listen to us while you're delivering mail, and staying true to the shorts. It's true northeasterner life. Yep. But so we've been frozen in a little bit. Although it's so funny because it feels so appropriate. Winterspell previews are heating up. We're getting main stages. All of this is coming out. Like we're seeing, more products and stuff revealed. So just as this hype is heating up, the country is freezing, and it, I don't know, feels kind of appropriate. So
I know, who would have thought that we would get the majority of Winterspell reveals when a lot of the U.S. is having like the most amount of ice and snow we've seen in the past, like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. But it is kind of interesting because like even the vibes are right. I asked, so I had the opportunity to be on a main stage today, a creative main stage, which was a ton of fun. And for one of the things I was trying to draw out of them is like, hey, in addition to just like cold and kind of fun, what are some of the themes that you all were looking to like highlight in this set? What's the feeling, the vibe that you wanted to convey? And each of the creative team had different answers. Some of them stuff that you would appreciate, like fun and whimsy. But then McFly said warm and cozy, like family, warm and cozy were the vibes that he was going for. And so it just feels appropriate. Winterspell not only is the cold and the ice and all that, but then we've all been kind of like huddled up and sipping tea and kind of like settling in where we're at while this weather passes us by, and it just kind of feels like the right vibe. I don't know.
So I think that's really funny because depending on the card that you look at from the set, like you could absolutely get family vibes. Like there's the Mickey Mouse card, it's the Christmas Carol Mickey Mouse, and he has like Tiny Tim on his shoulders. But then you look at ones like the Pete Ghost of Christmas Future, or the Ruby location. I shared it.
The graveyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the name of it? Hold on, I'll find it. The Graveyard of Christmas Future, and it's just very like icicles and wind blown and like just sleet and just blizzard showing. But then on the other hand, you look at the alternate art of Let It Go, which, by the way, I've said it once, I'll say it again. I love that we are getting alternate arts of cards, like meta mainstays, and I think this alt art like absolutely hit it out of the park.
Yeah, I agree. I love the alternate art. On that note, you said a bunch of stuff I want to respond to, but I'm just going to tag into the last one. If you saw the main stage today, did you see the alt art epic?
The Stitch?
Yeah.
So I didn't see it in the main stage, but I did see it later. Yes.
I'm going to pull it up for everyone just because reasons. Yeah. So they actually grabbed some of the key art and they turned the epic into an alt art Stitch. So all the epics, for the most part, are all the same as we've seen, where there's expanded versions of the base card. But here we're getting an alternate epic, which is just really cool. And I think it's great. I think it works so well.
No, I think this is something we need to see more of, to be honest with you. I would love it because it feels like they're taking steps into, we've talked about it again, like the Pokemon route, where cards have a lot of different versions and variations of themselves. So it helps on like price points. And from a collector's standpoint, it helps the game in longevity from a collector's standpoint. But also, like, if there's a super shiny version that someone wants to play that so they can bling out their deck, they can do that. Or if they're like me and they mainly want to play with commons, then it's like a lot cheaper to get into the game because the common versions exist. And since the common versions exist and there's like a shiny version, like that cost is going to change. I love it. I love the idea. I think we need more of it.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. Because even you know, from a pack opening perspective, even if the card's not worth a whole ton, like let's say this card is not meta relevant, and it's not played too much. Even opening like an alt art version of this epic, where I mean, if you do the math, if you get 1 or 2 epics per box, the odds of getting this particular alt art are 1 in every few cases. And that feels like a hit, even if it's not worth a ton, and it adds to the pack opening experience. So yeah. I
mean, it was like going through Fabled troves or packs or anything like that. Like if we found like the epic Aurora, for instance, like wasn't a very expensive card, or just any epics in general. Like you would see that and immediately be like, oh, well, this is like immediately so much better because it's something you don't see a lot of. And I don't know. The ideas and introduction of epics does a lot for the game. And now that there are alternate arts, like just the idea of the alternate arts and then foil versions of the alternate arts and the promos that we're seeing, I think we're really getting into a diverse collective field. And that's really good. That's really, really good. Especially like incorporating into the parks like they are.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So many positives about where they're going with some of the alternate treatments, alternate frames, just the collectability of the game. So it's great to see. I also want to for everybody watching, we are gonna near the end of the show, we're gonna get into like talking about gameplay and some of the non-foil epics, says Wonderland. It's an interesting idea. I understand based on the curlability why you would say that, but that's a whole other discussion. But so we are near the end of the show. We're going to talk more about the cards, the playability of some of them, the competitive viability of some of these cards. So if you all have ones that you want to talk about, like hold them, because we're going to bring in Ed Chu later on, and he's going to chat with us as well about what he thinks about some of these cards. Yeah, if you want us to focus on specific ones that you're kind of interested in, let us know. I already see what's the device? Retro Evolution device.
Yeah.
But then the other piece of business I want to talk about before we talk more about this is an important piece of, I just think this is funny. An important piece of Lorcana lore was birthed today. I feel like we had the main stage, and for everybody watching, this snowman came up, and apparently what happened was there's a particular card, and it's the Lilo. Actually, let me show it real quick. Let me show this card. Sorry, this is so dumb, but I want to talk about it because we all need it's fun, and we need some fun right now. So they talked about this card, and Molly Ewert, as she was designing this card, put this little snowman. It wasn't asked for it. Apparently, put this little snowman in the back here, and everybody loved it. And then they started to figure out where they could put it in other pieces of art. And so they went back and like tried to put in other cards and stuff. And then it appears in the key art here. And the chat decided after just a few seconds that the snowman's name was Mahalo, and that he is in fact a deity. So all hail Mahalo. And yep. So if you see anybody referencing Mahalo in Lorcana world, it is this snowman who doesn't have a card, just appears in the background, but he is now part of Lorcana lore. So, yeah, there you go.
Well, look, he only get his deity status if he can somehow dethrone Pudge.
Yeah,
and I don't know that that's going to happen.
No, Pudge is too great, too great. It's just Mahalo is just another Maui form. So Sarah, perhaps it's been Maui. Maui's like, I've been here the whole time. So anyway, super fun. So yeah, the main stage was a lot of fun. If you all are into the art and design of the game at all, even if you're not super into it, there's a lot of interesting tidbits They even showed like or Matthew Stevens, who's responsible for like the graphics and the packaging and all that, showed an evolution of the Winterspell logo and all of the iterations they went through to arrive at the final logo. So there was a lot of that I found really, really fascinating. Nive was kind enough to record it for me. I hope to have it up on the channel here shortly. And I believe you can also find it on the Illumineer Tales channel on YouTube. So definitely go watch it if you get a chance.
Let's say I am not normally able to hit the main stages just because they happen in the middle of the day. I unfortunately don't have a work from home job anymore, so I don't have the chance to see it. But like as soon as it's over and I'm able to go check Twitter, I get to see like all the snippets and things that happen. So I don't know. I was somebody for a while that like I saw a lot of people mahalo, and I'm like, what does it mean? I'm missing something very critical. But to get the explanation later, I was like, okay, well that's really fun and something that I don't know that you really can appreciate unless you get to be there in the moment.
That's fair. Yeah.
So if there's any sort of, I don't know, incentive or like something that's put you on the fence of watching main stages and you have a chance to, like, you should go do it because you'll get to be part of naming snowmen in the background of artworks.
Yeah, is pretty funny. Yeah, no, it's a good point. A lot of these things happen like organically when the community comes together, and it's it's just a lot of fun. So shout out to Rochelle for doing the main stages and pulling folks together and content creators and devs and creative folks in so we can talk about this stuff, because I really it's part of what I love about, you know, being a part of the community in this game is not just, it's not that we just get to see cards blasted out and like there's this wall and you know, we get what we get. Like they do try to take the opportunity to bring us behind the scenes and let us know how things came about, how cards were created, introduce the art team. It's really, really fun that they try to, I don't know, pull back the curtain a little bit. So on that note, randomly, before we talk more about Winterspell, I just saw today, I somehow missed this, but I just saw today, Logan, that the same way they had a creation video for
Powerline?
For Powerline, it's not this card, it's the normal version of Elsa, but they have another video. I completely missed it when it posted, talking about the creation of the new Elsa card.
Which one? There's actually like so many.
Oh, that's true. Sorry. Yeah, the Ruby Floodborn Elsa. Nah, I have to find it. I think it's Nicholas Cole's. This one, yeah?
Ooh.
Yeah, I think it's this one. But yeah, I didn't know they had another behind the scenes video, so I'm gonna have to go watch that. And
yeah, for sure.
So it's really
cool. I was
cool.
literally just about to talk about how the Powerline back, you know, behind the scenes thing, just going over the creative vision and all the different iterations that the artwork went through was really cool. And I was like, I wonder why they haven't done that for this set. Turns out they have already. So that was like, honestly, my favorite thing going into Fabled, because I feel like that was the first time we genuinely saw the creative process behind some of the artwork and how excited the team was to work on this specific character that hadn't been in Lorcana yet. So I'm looking forward to things like that, especially when we start getting the Pixar characters. Like, oh my gosh, it's going to be, I can imagine like either the Woody or Buzz behind the scenes one is going to be like just a full on Disney production.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait to see it. I hope they go like, I really hope they take us like into Pixar Studios and kind of show like how Pixar and you know, Disney and Ravensburger all came together to create this set. That'd be super cool. Everybody pointing out, yeah, I was in the Lorecast last week. Yeah, unfortunately, like Logan, for those of us who work 9 to 5, sometimes it's really hard to catch them live, and so we end up skimming them later. And I missed that in there, so I was really excited to discover it. It was a nice surprise to discover it today.
Yeah,
so super cool. Anyway, yeah. So Whispers reveals are heating up, and not Whispers. Winterspell reveals are heating up, and
so we're well past Whispers now. We're essentially just in Winterspell territory. I mean, as of I believe it's Friday is when the last reveals will be up, and after that, we're officially in the new meta as far as like us competitive players go.
Yeah. What do you think? And we'll talk more about the cards later, and this is probably the best left for later, but to kind of tease everybody, based on what you've seen so far, I've heard some people say that their feeling is the power level of the set is definitely lower than Whispers, and that basically intuiting that it won't have a huge effect on the competitive meta. Overall, as you look at these cards and card mechanics, acknowledging that we still have about a quarter of the cards to see, what are your thoughts about just mechanically this set as a whole?
I think that this set is what Fable needed to be.
Ah,
I say that because I disagree with you. I think there's going to be a lot of cards that fundamentally change the power level of the game. I think we are very likely going to be entering a meta where Amber is the strongest ink.
Amber is nuts.
And I don't
aggro.
and I don't think we've ever in the history of Lorcana been able to see that Amber is the strongest. Like we've been able to say Ruby or Amethyst or even at times Steel were, and even last set, you could maybe argue that Emerald was probably the most powerful it's ever been. Just from things it could do. But I genuinely think that we are coming into a meta where we're all collectively going to say, wow, Amber is the strongest ink, and you can pair anything with Amber and it's going to do well. And can you name a time in Lorcana history where that's been true?
I mean, no. I mean, you could argue like back when Steel Song was the bomb and was everywhere, it was one of the top tier meta decks, that Amber was very, very strong. But at the same time, it was built around Steel, really, the Steel removal, the Steel songs. And so Amber was kind of the pairing to get the singers out of it. So no, to your point, I don't think we've ever had a time where people are like, yeah, let me just take Amber and pair it with almost anything and it'll be good. It was really kind of situational. On the aggro front, like for a while, or pretty much always, it's been considered, I think, one of the more aggressive colors. For a variety of reasons, and so that's why you see it in Diggy Hole and you saw it in hyper aggro. But I guess on that vein, Amber kind of held its own, but no, it wasn't really versatile. So
that's what I'm saying. Like when you paired Amber with very powerful inks like Steel or Emerald that already had things going on, but Amber was the support, not the main. I think we're entering a meta where Amber is going to be the main, and much like Amethyst has been for the last 2 or 3 sets, where you can genuinely pair any ink with Amethyst and it works. I think we're coming into a world where you can pair any ink with Amber and you'll find a way to make it work.
It is interesting. One of the fun things that you talk about Amber and why it's all of a sudden good again, like they got some of their card draw back. Like we lost Rapunzel and I feel like Amber players for a while were saying like, please, for a couple sets now, please can I draw some cards? And it got some good card draw this set, and perhaps that's one of the things that it needed. It's the one thing holding it back. There's some other great. I can't wait to dig into some of these spoilers. And also Amber got some underdogs, that allowed to do the catch up thing, and I don't know.
No, I mean, there's plenty of Amber cards that I think are going to do really cool things. Like one that I don't think a lot of people have talked about is Nani.
Well, cozy Nani curled up looking out the window.
Stage manager.
Oh, stage manager. Okay.
It's it's Ariel, but for characters.
And
that's really good.
That's true. I'm trying to pull her up. Yeah. I don't know. I wonder. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be fun. I can't find her. I'll find her in a moment. I'm scrolling through this Instagram here. There's got to be a better way to do this. Yeah, that, and then Ohana means family. Anyway, but we've yet to see. So we've seen a good preponderance of the Amber cards. There's a few left here, and I'll go over the rarities. But there's some.
I still think it's crazy. We have so many cards left to go.
I know, right?
It already feels like we have a significant amount of power in what's been revealed, and I'm just like every day living in fear that we're gonna have another instance where like the set where Belle and Tamatoa were like the last 2 cards revealed, and then all of a sudden everything made sense and was so much stronger. Like I'm just afraid that like in the last 2 days we're gonna see some just absolute bombs get revealed. on top of what already has been shown to us.
Yeah, I agree with you. It does feel like there's things being held back that will like truly reveal what this set is supposed to do or be. I just get the feeling that there's a couple bombs left. On that note, we talked about Amber. So we've seen both the Amber legendaries. It looks like we've seen none of the Amber super rares, which is kind of scary.
Yes.
Right. Amethyst we've seen most of. Like there's one super rare left, but most of Amethyst has been revealed, and it's like Emerald too is missing a lot.
We're missing a legendary, missing 2 super rares, which is again terrifying.
Yeah. Ruby has its legendaries, but 2 super rares yet to be revealed. Some space for locations too. Sapphire's got a lot of it. We've got the rarest cards there, so we kind of know what Sapphire's generally trying to do. And then Steel's missing a couple super rares as well.
A lot of rares, though, is the thing, right?
True.
Like we look back and think of some of the most powerful Steel cards. They weren't super rares and legendaries. They were like common, uncommon rares.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, Strength, Doc, all those.
Strength, Doc, Zeus, Storm.
Yep. That's true. I mean, that's true. So anyway, so yeah, it is funny because it feels like we've seen so much of the set so far, but there's still so much we haven't seen. It's wild. Absolutely wild. So anyway, well, we are going to, for everybody watching, like we're going to go dig into the cards, some of the spoilers more later. What I want to do near the end of the show is kind of talk about some specific cards that you all want to talk about, or cards that Logan, I, or Ed have seen that we want to kind of talk about in terms of their meta relevance and how good we really think they are. So if there's specific cards that stand out to you, if you want us to dive any of them or talk about what we think, just make a little mental note because we're going to ask you in a little bit to prioritize what we pull up because we can't look at all of them. Maybe we can, but it'd be very, very fast. But before we do that, there's a couple big events coming up. Another CCQ was announced recently. One that I know you're really excited about, Logan. And I thought we'd bring on one of the organizers for that event and talk a little bit about what they're doing up there in the DMV area.
In the Great White North.
In the Great White North. So let's welcome in Matthew Dixon. Welcome back to the show.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming back after the last time. How's the weather up there?
Good, huh?
I thought I was gonna get away with not having to shovel the 15 inches of snow. I had 2 contractors bail on me. So after it all turned to ice today, I was trying to shovel my driveway, and all the karma that I have wanted for like the last 5 years was graced on me today when some random woman with a plow on the front of her truck was driving by my house and just offered to like clear the bottom of the driveway. That's all like the stuff that's compacted by the street plows. And like that alone probably saved me 3 hours and actually having a back at the end of coming back inside. But even like I couldn't even get my driveway. I cleared 2 tire tracks for my SUV to be able to go up the driveway and like in and out of the garage. My like like a child. So we'll see. I will gradually.
Functional works, man.
It allowed for a walking path for the guy with the groceries to be able to get to the house. That's
I mean,
like
if food can get in and out, I mean
that's right. My food and car. That's all I needed.
That's all that matters.
But other than that, yeah, it's just cold. We went out to try to do like, so it was my 7 months old, like first snow. She got 10 feet out of the house and it turned into sleet. And my wife was like, nope, back inside. And my 3-year-old went down the hill twice, both times reluctantly, and then made a couple snow angels. And then she was like, can I have hot chocolate now? And inside, that was it.
Yeah. No, it's, well, good. I'm glad you're surviving the winter spell of your own up there. You talking about the snowplow is funny. Just again, random stories. Growing up, I had a very short driveway. It sounds like yours is a lot more intimidating than mine. But of course, you know, my parents had kids, so they didn't have to shovel the driveway anymore. So every snow, I was out there shoveling, and I lived on a dead end road, and so the plow would go down the road and come back up the road. When the plow went down the road, it would create the wall in front of my driveway, which was
Mhm.
miserable because then I had to shovel that. But if I was quick, when it went by, it started like a 2-minute timer where if I could push a bunch of the snow out into the road before the plow turned around and came back up, it would take care of the problem for me, and it would be a lot less work. So that was always both disheartening, but then super rewarding if I was really quick. If I missed that turn, then it was miserable because then it just
You're a gamer when you can gamify driveway
Yeah.
shoveling.
Yeah, that's right. It did feel like a quest, like a timed quest where it like,
Oh, it's awesome.
and I'm like, shovel 100 pounds of snow in like 2 minutes. Anyway, you have some folks accessing the uncut sheet, by the way. I see it
Oh
there.
yeah. I had a lot of people in the community that helped us pull this off.
Yeah,
This is the
oh, look at that thing.
the
I'm
rare
super
uncut
jealous.
from Richmond. Yeah,
One day.
massive props to my my co-manager Matt Hash. I got like halfway there and was running out of steam, and he came with me and we sat and played like 15 rounds of Pack Rush, just walking back and forth, and realized that was going to be way too slow. And then he just started doing his thing and hustling and got me like 40 or 50,000 tickets. We were borrowing tickets on loan to like repay after the fact because we knew there was only one sheet left. Josie got one Friday night before the event even started, and we knew that it was the last one. So we were like, all right, like we've got to get it before all the day 2 10,000 tickets were distributed Sunday morning. So we just started asking everybody. So props to anybody who sold us tickets or loaned us tickets. It was great.
That's amazing. I didn't realize they were so limited.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I was actually thinking that there was only one. And when I heard that Josie had gotten one, I saw that it was still there. So I didn't know if it was even available. And they're like, yeah, we think it's the only other one. So
that's wild.
But we got Matt Hash got the common one as well, and we're gonna try to frame them hopefully for the event coming up, and with like the competitor badge and then like a fan out of the tickets from Richmond to be able to show off and just have them on display. So we'll see if we can get that done in time. I think he bought a mat cutting device. The guy, he's insane. Doesn't pay anybody to do anything. He will buy it and figure it out himself. It's hilarious.
That's funny. Well, send a picture when you get it all framed up. I'm excited to see.
Absolutely.
Speaking of the event, let's talk about the event. Really excited. You all have been working on the Ink brand up there in the tournament series for quite a while, building a pretty cool thing. And it was amazing to see it announced as a CCQ. I'll bring up the flyer, but for anybody who doesn't know, what do you got going on?
Yeah. So end of February, we have been trying to get partnered with Ravensburger since early 2025 when we did our first event for Set 7. And when they announced the CCQ series, like we immediately reached out. We actually had conversations trying to get the Fabled event to a CCQ, and it was a week in. So it was so early. There was no real structure. They weren't sure exactly. It was unannounced, right? Like they moved that CCQ program up a year in their timeline. And it just wasn't going to happen. There was just no way for it to be that early. So we just kept pushing. And through the support of the casting community, the judges, different people in our region, we got to the right people and we started having conversations. And there was a little bit of hesitation because of how close we were to Richmond. But when we really sat down and looked at, how long after Richmond was, about 7 weeks after Richmond, and the size of our community here. And we just kind of talked through everything we were doing. They were really excited to support us and give us that chance. We were going to get the product support regardless. But the CCQ was the icing on the cake. So we have room for 512. My goal at a minimum is 357. It's my magic number. 357 puts us one larger than any other CCQ in North America to date.
Okay.
So I want that title. So help me get there. Somebody will somebody will crack it before the end of season 2. But just if I have it for a day, I'm good.
Is it CCS you're trying to overtake?
I think it was Vegas. I think Vegas was 356.
PPG. Oh no, SGC Vegas.
I think it might have been SGC.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think Bologna was like 901.
Yeah, they're different in Europe. Like that's nuts.
I can't get that one. But I'll take largest in North America.
That's nuts.
But yeah, so the big thing about the Ink Inc events for anyone who's never been to one, JDZ, bless his soul, gave us massive love on the Lorecast during the announcement of the CCQ, and said it better than I will. But we really try to create a mini DLC experience. We've got a great community within DC, Maryland, Virginia. We really try to be the pillar for that community, like hosting the digital Discord platform for that community to connect. It's like I think we're getting close to 600 people in that community. We had a bot to help people get tickets for Richmond, like knowing when they were coming available. So we had a huge presence down in Richmond. And yeah, so we try to create that we have a vendor hall with artists, like an artist alley. We have 3 card vendors. Sharp Gaming's coming out from Arkansas to vend as a card vendor. And yeah, so it'll be the main event on Saturday. And then Friday night before will be a meet the caster and meet the team, similar to what we did before. So we've got our DLC quality casting crew with Garrick, JDZ, Brent Mackay, Katie from Lore Keepers Inn, Color, Wonderland, and J-Bomb. And we just ran out of money. I couldn't get you, Liam. I wanted you.
That's okay. I mean, you don't have to say it every time, but it's fine. I'll take being like 9th pick. It's fine. No, it's fine.
But yeah, so that Meet Caster event will be Friday. There'll be like win a box side events kind of thing, like 8-person pods, but no like big formal scheduled events on Friday. And then Saturday we'll start doing some side events in the afternoon as people start to drop. And then Sunday it'll be 9 rounds of Swiss for the main event on Saturday. Top Cut will be starting Sunday morning, and right before Top Cut start, we're going to launch a series of scheduled side events. So we'll do like a 64-player Infinity event that'll just be 6 rounds, no Top Cut, prizing based on Swiss, similar to like they do at the DLC. Our youth event is actually on Saturday as well. We're going to do youth event again. So Game Haven, one of our local game stores, is sponsoring the prizing for that again. Big shout out to Jake and his team there. This is the second event that they've hosted, or that they've helped us host it. And then we'll probably do some other side events depending on interest. So we might just do like another core 64-player side event on Sunday for people who stick around. But it's still evolving as we get more and more interest, and people kind of let us know what they're interested in. We don't want to force things down people's throats, but kind of take the feedback on what people are excited about.
Well, I mean, so just as somebody I haven't missed an Ink apart from, I believe, even the first one. It was an
You were there
invitational.
the first, yeah.
I somehow was able to sneak in. Garrick, shout out to Garrick, by the way. Like, he's a fantastic editor, does like most of your media, if not all of your media for Ink, right?
Yeah. And for like everything, the man is literally everywhere.
I mean, for Maelstrom, he was our editor for a long time, but now he's spread thin. He came to me one day. He's like, "Look, I'm doing so much. I just do not have the time to put the quality into the stuff that you guys are doing." We're like, "We totally get it. Like, if you like, go do more important things." So I've not missed an Ink. I'm very proud to say that, because, man, the attention to detail that you guys have. When you say that you try to make it a DLC experience, I mean, you're not exaggerating, and you're not just using showboaty words. Every Ink event has been just as special as a DLC to me, not only from a production standpoint, which you guys do, I mean, just on par with any big production. I would say. I mean, you do fantastic work with your casters. You make sure the stream setup looks amazing with like face cams, hand cams, if you're able to pull it off. But also just the community in that area is fantastic. I mean, when I go, it legitimately is like meeting up with all of my old friends that I haven't got to see in forever. And in the time where we don't have as many DLCs this season, of all the CCQs I've planned to go to and I'm going to, I think Ink Inc. is the one I'm most excited for.
Thanks, man. We always love having you. Mad props. Yeah, it's our goal was always to create a experience where people could get comfortable with large scale, highly competitive events, so that when a DLC came to our community or our players went to a DLC, that they were prepared to step up and do it, right? And 2 members from our community top 32'd at Milwaukee. Shout out to the Dave and to Rob Serb. And you know, we want to continue to support that. So it's big. And I do want to shout out to the chat. So I've got a lot of requests for a women's only tournament. It is something that I'm exploring. So if anyone in Discord wants to continue to express interest in that, I do think it's something I want to try to do on Sunday. I'm just trying to find a way to make it inclusive and feel like it is something that is an add to the event. I've heard that there have been places where people have had to drop from the main event in order to try to play in the women's only event, and they've had to like make that decision. And I don't want it to feel like it's like a written off on the side kind of thing. I want it to feel like it's a perk and a bonus. So I am exploring it for the people who have asked about it. And just to speak to your comment about the broadcast, so huge props to Garrick. Like, right, he is responsible for the behind the scenes and running that show and like making sure that everybody's on point. But one of our sponsors and a big reason why that broadcast and everything works so well is from Lorebot. Their ability to impact the quality of the UI, the production level on how well that interface works, and like the different cameras and everything, like is a huge reason. Garrick shouts them out all the time about how big of an impact they have on our ability to do that production. So if anyone is trying to cast content and you're looking for someone to help you, like, reach out to the guys from Lorebot. It's a big help.
That's awesome. Well, if you're looking to register, everybody out there, for like, how can I get to Ink Inc? How can I be a part of that? I did just post the link in the chat, and we'll make sure it's in the show notes as well. Sounds like there's still plenty of room for you to go, but that will probably fill up quickly as we get closer. So if you're thinking about registering, make sure you do it sooner rather than later, especially so you help Matt out with like player count, because that is super helpful. I will, before we get ready to let you go, Matt, I do want to shout out your community as well. You and the other folks up there always talk about what a tight-knit community you have in the DMV area. And one of my favorite Lorcana memories was when I was traveling for a work trip, and I was like, I want to try to find a place to play Lorcana. And I like jumped into a Facebook group, and then everybody there was like, no, get in the Discord server. And I was like, okay. So I get in the Discord server, and I was immediately overwhelmed with, everybody giving me information about where I could go play and the different shops and making recommendations to me and game nights and inviting me out. And it was wonderful. It was wholesome. I did get out to a small LGS and played with some folks out there. Kurt actually showed up, and Jonathan Lamb and some other folks, and it was a lot of fun. So I really love your community out there. And one day I'll make it up to an Ink Inc where I can see everybody coming together there. But I appreciate you, and I appreciate what you and your community do.
Thanks, man. A couple quick things I just want to make sure that I capture. So the CCQ is obviously the headline, right? Like, that's the one that's the most impactful nationwide. We are also a PPG qualifier for the PPG Pro Play Summit in Pittsburgh on March 14th and 15th. So both first and second place will get a round 1 bye in their Lorcana 10K on Saturday. Shout out to the couple other like big sponsors. So Mats by Liz is going to be giving or working with us to do the mats for some of our prize mats for the side events and for our bounty program. So our past competitors, our past champions like Kurt and Richie and the Dave, as well as some of the like the headline competitors are going to be bounties. So the first person to knock them off 2-0 will get a special ink open bounty mat with the player's signature foiled onto the mat. So
That's cool.
I don't have the design yet, but it's going to be fire. We're really, really excited about that. And then just from a raffle and charity standpoint, we do a charity piece for grabbing non-perishable goods every time we do an event. With whatever the local food bank is. So we're going to be supporting the Maryland Food Bank. Everybody who attends the main event will get 5 raffle tickets for a series of like 5 or 7 different raffle bundles. And if you bring non-perishable goods, every 2 that you bring, you'll get an extra ticket. So you get a chance of up to a total of 10. So you can get 5 extra tickets. And then there will be a cash raffle with a pick a promo. So you'll either be able to get a top 32 foil Elsa or foil invited to the ball if you win. So you get your pick between the 2. And I think and then our other sponsor, we do have a sponsorship from Heavy Play. They sent us like $1,200 worth of product to raffle off 5 sets of the Mag Play system and a bunch of sleeves and stuff. So lots and lots of stuff. So hope to see everybody there, at least 357 of you, but hopefully 512 people, and would love to cap it.
I mean, look, you can always count on me to be there, so that's one.
Gotcha. I think you were one of the first like 8 people to register. So,
dude, I see Ink, and me like it's no questions asked. Like I'm gonna be there. I'm also just there are a few tournament series that I've made it a point to try not to miss one. CCS, I've only missed one, and I plan on never missing an Ink as long as I can have that control of my life. That's just how much I enjoy the event. Whether or not it was going to be any sort of CCQ or qualifier, like it's just so much fun and so well ran. I genuinely think that if you're on the fence about traveling for events, Inking needs to be the first one you go to. As good or as weird as it might be to say, I think you guys set a standard that everyone else that's doing events needs to follow. There's a quality, there's a attention to detail, there's a care in what you guys are doing with this event that I think everybody needs to do their best to emulate.
Thanks, man. That means a lot. I appreciate it. And I promise I've not paid Zenulus to say any of these nice things.
Look, if you paid me, that'd be way nicer. I paid my own way to get there. I had to buy my ticket. I had to buy my flight, which was surprisingly cheap, by the way. Flying into BWI is not that bad. So anybody look into BWI before you look into anywhere else. That's how
it's super convenient. It's like 15 minutes, airport and Amtrak station, 15 minutes from the venue. Much more convenient than our last event out in Westminster. That was a
little out of the way, but
that's not convenient.
I still lived up there at the time, so like I was able to just make like 3-hour drive and get there. But anybody else, we tried to pivot to. We knew it was going to be bigger, regardless of whether it was the CCQ. So we wanted to try to get as close to BWI as we could. And that's just been. Look, for me now that I unfortunately don't live up in the PA area anymore. It's just so much easier for my travel. But no, like I implore anybody, like if they haven't gone to a CCQ or if you've been on the fence about going to one, this needs to be the one that you go to. I legitimately I cannot stress enough the quality that they put on for their events and how much they really show their love for the community and give back to us. I mean, just the raffles by themselves are well enough reason to go.
Yeah. Well, one day I'll make it. People asking me to go. I'm gonna try to go to this one. It's just money and time off work is so difficult with all the travel. So I'm gonna try to make it to play. 'Cause, get my invite, get my CCQ invite. But no, I hopefully I can make it. But one day I'll make it out there. Anyway, I appreciate you so much joining us, Matt. And before I ask both of you for closing thoughts, Matt Hash, the other part of the dynamic duo there, one of the organizers, has offered to give away a box of Winterspell to somebody on the show. So I think rather than me scramble this week and try to create a sign up form, I think I'm going to run that next week. And so next week on the show, you'll have to be here. We're going to put out a form. You enter, and from the Ink team, you can win a box of Winterspell. And so bookmark the show next week. And yeah, great giveaway. Thanks so much for supporting the show. And I appreciate both of you so much. Both the Matts.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Logan, any closing thoughts before we let Matt go? I wonder how long we wait before we tell him he's muted.
I was muted.
Yeah.
So I love the Ink team. I love Matt. I was just by pure chance introduced to you guys through Garrick. When the first invitational was happening, he randomly hit me up and he was like, "Hey, we have a spot that opened up this weekend for an event. You want to come say hi?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And then, just ended up accidentally finding one of my favorite tournament series for Lorcana that happens.
It's fate.
Genuinely. So again, I cannot stress enough. If you have been on the fence about going to a CCQ, you haven't felt really, is this the kind of thing for me? Make it to Ink, and you'll see that it's absolutely worth it.
It's incredible, you might say. No, Matt, any closing thoughts or shout outs before we say goodbye?
I just want to shout out the team that, like, this is not a just me and Matt thing. Our team does a ton on the back end, especially for setup and everything. Like, it's our it is a labor of love, but we do it for our community. So I just want to thank the community for all of the support and how much love they show for when we do these events, because they make it worth it. They make it the experience. So just ton of appreciation for that. So check out the website. If you have any questions, hit me up, hit anyone up from Ink with questions. And also we'll probably need maybe 1 or 2 more judges, assuming that we hit 300 to 400 people. We've got a lot of our regulars, but we lost a couple people to some other obligations. So the link to apply to be a judge, the link for a vendor table, if anybody just wants to come and be a vendor and hang out and sell your art, come do that. And then all the links to register and stuff are all on the website. So let us know if you need anything.
I was gonna say, we just had somebody in chat ask if you need people to work the event in general, like badge pickup. I assume the answer is yes.
So I haven't gotten a form out yet to accept volunteers because I'm not sure. Do we need help? Yes, 100%. We're going to be setting up on Friday. We have done a lot of stuff to streamline our check-in process. So we're going to do a lot of stuff online and automated. That was always our biggest bane, was the line of people trying to get in the door. So we've eliminated a lot of those headaches for anyone who's sat in that line before. So that won't be an issue. So we still could use some volunteers. So if there's anybody who just wants to come and just hang out and be a part of it, but doesn't plan on playing, please hit me up, and definitely open to seeing how you can help.
That's amazing. Well, thank you again so much, Matt. And thank Matt Hash for offering that box. I can't wait to see how this event goes. I'll either be there or I'll be watching. But you always run an amazing event, and your community is amazing. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate you stopping by.
So much.
So all the platitudes and praise. So all right.
Take care.
You have a good night, man.
I'm really bad at saying goodbye. I just want to
You're
talk to you all night.
terrible.
I know, I'm the worst. I don't know how to do it.
Well, clearly you just sign them. You don't even sign them off. You just kick them off.
Yeah, true. I should just like, but no, it's always great when you have wonderful people on the show. Like, it is hard to say goodbye sometimes because you just want to, I don't know, just want to talk to them all night.
Especially with Matt. Like, I mean,
Yes,
I can talk to anybody from Ink Inc. forever.
so nice and so warm. Like, they're just so community oriented, and I love them. Also, and again, I'll reiterate and I'll reiterate at the end of the show. Come back next week because Ink Inc. Will be giving out a box of Winterspell to somebody here next week. So bookmark the show, come back, and you'll have to be here next week to enter and win. But we appreciate that so much. So hopefully it'll be past 357 next week. All right. Well, should we talk more about Winterspell? Spoilers?
Absolutely. Let us talk about Winterspell.
This is part of the show where I'm going to start asking chat which cards you want us to talk about, because we have ones that we like, but we want to know what you want to talk about. And to do that, let's welcome in one of my favorite competitive players, somebody who you all know, second place in the World Championship, winner of the North American Continental Championship. It's Mr. Ed Chu.
He's also recently the LCCCCCC winner.
Yeah, we just played that today. Yeah, what's up? How's it going?
Yeah. We'll add that to the top of the list.
Sure.
Also, my number one draft pick 2 times running. Interestingly enough.
Thanks.
So
I appreciate your commitment to the bit.
hey, one of these. Hey, you're gonna like win the next one. And
I'll pop off surely someday.
Ah.
Yes. We'll get
You're always good for 10 wins or at least 9 wins.
At least 9, yeah.
At least
I went
9
9-3 both times. So
yeah,
it is
yeah,
what
yeah.
It is, you know?
It's one top deck away each time, probably, from making it. But no, thanks for joining us on short notice, Ed.
Yeah.
Logan, like always, I sent the invite like this morning. But
As usual.
yeah. And have you been keeping up much? I know sometimes, even the competitive side, you all just like wait for all the spoilers to come out before rushing to judgment. Have you been keeping up much with Winterspell as it's been coming out, or?
Yeah, I mean, I take a look here and there. I mean, there's some cards that people keep talking about. You can't ignore them, right? Like the Moana, and like today, I think they revealed Grab Your Bow. That card is like kind of good. So
Yep.
The ones that like are really stand out, yeah, people talk about it. I kind of look at it, and you try to cook up the decks that kind of already exist, and go from there.
Yeah. As you're looking at, are you excited to cook anything up? Are you excited to work anything in? Like, has anything really stood out to you? You're just kind of like monitoring.
Yeah, I mean, right now, I'm not historically an Amber Steel player, but I think Amber Steel actually got a ton of tools. Like the new Lilo, that seems pretty good. It's like it's like super resist, right? Like it takes multiple attacks to hit it, and that's always been like pretty annoying. So I think that card is pretty good. I think the new Pudge is also pretty good. Like anything that's free has always been really good in this game, right? And I think now that we have like a little bit more draw power, I guess we won't have like Doc. I don't know what other kind of like free draw cards we can have, but this like Pudge looks pretty good. You can just dump your whole hand, right? This GG also looks pretty good in like the Amethyst Steel. I think it might take the space of Lexington, just because I think it's a little bit more flexible in that it doesn't get stuck, but you still have like a slight downside, right? It's kind of like Lawrence adjacent. So I think this card might see play. This Nani also looks pretty good for like Amber Steel and also Dogs. Just being able to like get free cards has been pretty good, and she can also sing that new song. What's it? A nude egg something that you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
the one that no one's ever going to pronounce correctly.
I can never pronounce that card. Yeah,
I keep pronouncing it like the Jedi, Akudi Monday or whatever his name is.
Yeah, but that card's pretty strong. So I think like that, it's just a really good combo, right? So I think they are thinking about like these type of synergies, and like these Amber cards in the aggressive shell, like I think has gotten a lot better. In terms of like the control cards, I guess this Elsa 6, this new Elsa that came out, is also pretty strong. I know some people are trying to cook like Ruby Amethyst with this card because you can shift on the 3-cost Elsa. You can refresh. You can also play like some of the locations like library, and you can even play like Great Illuminary, right? You can play Red Purple Whale as Dave Solberg likes to pioneer. So I think that Red Purple deck got a lot better because of this card. And And then obviously grab your bow. I think a lot of people are like missing like Brawl or Sisu. So I guess you have something kind of to kind of fill that gap. But I think the main problem with that card is that it's a song, right? So I think a lot of the decks that you can grab your bow in will get it taken away by Ursula. So I don't know if this will be good because of that. Like it being a song is actually potentially like a liability. But if they don't, steal with Ursula, it's like a really good card with like Headless Horseman, right? You play Headless Horseman and banish a thing, and then it survives, and you can, sing grab your bow with your Headless Horseman, like pop 2 more things. So that seems like pretty interesting. Maybe like Red Blue can make a comeback because 5 is still like relatively expensive to get to, like in the early game, and the only kind of reliable way to get there is to play some kind of like Sapphire ramp strategy.
Yeah, it is funny when we start like songs are so strong in terms of the free mechanic. It is interesting how we look at them as a downside, or that is a downside now because of the vulnerability to several different cards. So kind of funny,
especially now this set, because now we have Timon as well, just another hand disruption card.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are also looking at Timon. I think that card's pretty powerful. I think it's specifically because you can like combo with like Mowgli and then Timon. You play Daisy. That's like one of, I think, like Rob Surf. I think you guys were talking about him earlier. Like, I think that's one of his favorite like strategies to play like Amber discard cards, right? Like now you have another card that fits in that slot in addition to Mowgli from last set.
Yeah. Yeah, just pulling up. Discarding not care. Yeah.
I think it's the of your choice thing that actually pushes him over the edge. Whereas Mowgli is like, you can insulate against Mowgli, but Timon is just another like essentially just another Ursula.
Yeah. I mean, I think the other upside of this card is that I think it makes being on the draw a little bit more balanced out because you're actually like missing that card, right? And then now you can kind of just go like, Mowgli, Timon, and then like Daisy Duck, and you basically equalize like all your, card advantage by just like discarding your entire opponent's hand. And I think right now a lot of people are experimenting. Like I think at the beginning of every set, everyone always likes to experiment with these like new cards, right? And most of these new cards actually don't draw any cards. Like if you look at all the cards we just described, they all kind of you just play it and then like hope it like sticks. So I think people are gonna try like some greedy stuff probably in the beginning of the format, and then they might actually just get punished by like these type of like Mowgli, Timon, Daisy Duck like lines.
Speaking of, like, what are your thoughts on Ohana means family? Since we're talking about card draw.
Yeah. I mean, it's like Rapunzel adjacent, right? But I mean, obviously Rapunzel is going to be the goat of that effect.
Yes.
I think this type of effect. I think there's also that new card. What's the one where you can whispers into something where you can like draw cards or something?
Oh, the wisdom
something.
Wisdom
that one. I think those two cards. I think they're a little bit too gimmicky in my opinion. Like, I think it requires like a little bit too much setup. Unless you're specifically playing like Ruby Amber or something like that, and you can like heal your Mulan or whatever. Like there's no Mother Gothel, I guess, in like core. But if you don't have like that specific setup, I feel like the card isn't great. I remember back then people were saying like, against good players, Rapunzel was never really that good of a card. And I know like at top level like tournaments, I know some people even just cut Rapunzel because like your opponent will always play around it, right? So I think if that card like comes into existence, people are going to start playing around it inherently already. And I think it's going to be a lot more dead, right? Because honestly, like Rapunzel, at least like if you need a quest for 2 sometimes, you can do that. But that card could just be sitting in your hand the entire time without, anything to do with it. So I think this card and the Ohana and the Wisdom card, I think those are probably too situational. And you're going to probably be sitting on them too long. And like right now, the game is actually, quite fast, and every card has some agency that you need to keep up with the game. So personally, I don't think they're going to be that good. They seem good on paper, but I think they're just going to be sitting in your hand like way too long for it to be good.
That and then both of them like being just actions rippable by the new Mowgli, Timon, like line.
Yeah, and that too. Yeah, you'll never get to play them; those get ripped instantly.
Like say you're a dogs player and you've just kind of like set up for the Willow, and the next turn your opponent just goes, "Oh, cool, Mowgli," and you're like, I lose immediately. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's not great. So I honestly, I don't expect people to play those cards, but I mean, I could be wrong. Like, maybe it's like the reverse, right? Everyone thinks it's not going to be good, so you play it, and then people don't expect it, so you win. But honestly, probably not going to be good. But I mean, that's just kind of my first impression of the card.
So like, I know we don't have all the reveals yet, but I'm kind of the opinion that I think, like Amethyst has been for the last 2 sets, I think we're moving into a meta where Amber is going to kind of be the, maybe not, if not the dominant ink, one of the stronger inks that we have available to us. Like, do you think we're also kind of coming into that just with the reveals we had? I mean, obviously we have more to go, but
yeah. I mean, Amber, Amber looks great right now. I mean, Horseman Strikes Back. I think that was kind of the flipping point of that color combination, right? Like the color combo. I think it's because like the problem before was that you never had like the card advantage, right? It never did anything like significant. But if we're in like the evasive war kind of meta, then of course that card's going to be good. And then I think a lot of the new Amber cards like Nani, like you can go plus from Nani. And you just have a lot of like options from Amber. So I think Amber is looking pretty good. I mean, even if you just take like set 10 Amber and just add like, some of these new draw cards, I think it's totally reasonable.
Yeah. Yeah, Amber's color identity always was, part of it was working together, like going wide. Characters give you other characters from the very beginning, and we've seen some of that, but it now feels like they're really, really leaning into that. And I don't know. It does strike me though that, I mean, Amber, it's going to be aggressive though. I mean, really, we're not seeing a lot of like top end like Rockstar Stitches and Surfer Stitches and things like that, which Amber has for like end game cards. It's a lot of like early game draw, free cards, things like that, which leads me to believe this meta is going to be a lot more aggressive than we've seen recently.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier with like the Amber Steel cards, like they got a lot of new like aggressive tools. So I think, especially if set 10, let's say set 10 ends on like, Control was the best deck, then I think maybe week 1 of like set 11 Melbourne is going to be like a more aggressive strategy to try to, punish those players that are trying to do those things. Also, like earlier I mentioned, like with the Moana, right? Like I know some people are trying to cook like the like Cindy into Moana, and then you play like Grandma Tala, and then I guess if you like pair with like Amethyst, you can sing like Second Star. So I think also like a lot of people like to play greedy things, right? Like I said in the beginning. So maybe for week 1, it's like pretty smart to play an aggressive strategy, just because like everyone's trying to do all these like kind of, I guess, non-optimal like things in the beginning. So I think in the first week, I think aggressive strategy is going to be very strong.
Yeah.
And then Ed shows up with his Ruby Amethyst 4 of list and just wipes the floor with every aggressive strategy with like four grab your bows and 4
I don't know. That's gonna be good though, because like like now that people are playing, like, let's say you're playing dogs, right? Every dogs player is playing like Ursula and Mowgli, right? So it's like very unlikely for you to be able to like kind of pull that off. But obviously, like if you're playing, Headless Horseman, like that card is, basically the only card that kind of can stop like aggressive strategies before they kind of run away with it.
Yeah. So I was talking about lack of top end, and I'm just looking at like aggro finishers. I don't know how good this is going to be. Anytime you have to shift a character for its ability to work is kind of a downer, but it is interesting to see some of these. There's a lot of these cards this set where like if you haven't challenged, your characters are protected. That's kind of the Pocahontas vibe that we're getting, and this is a way to close things out.
I mean, this card is kind of like Kita from like the earlier sets, where you can go shift and you go quest. Did they reveal a 1 cost Pocahontas?
There's a lower cost Pocahontas. Let me find it real quick.
I think there's a 2 cost. Is there not?
2 cost? Not good enough. That's the problem, right? Because like I think where it's really good is because Kita used to go like Kita, and then you can play 2 like Daisy Ducks, right? And then you can go shift Kita quest, straight up win the game. If you can't do that with this Pocahontas, I don't think that this card is going to be playable, because like if the earliest you could do is just like shift on turn 3, like I don't think that's enough to do anything.
May have lied. There may just be a 3 cost.
3 cost. 3 cost Pocahontas with a 3 cost shift.
Yeah. Inherently, she's not awful on her own. I mean, she gets a little bit of reach, and her stats aren't terrible, but like, she's taking that 3 slot, and
Yeah, I don't think this card is very good, to be honest.
No, it's not.
It is pretty big though. Yes, it is pretty big. Like 5 health is actually quite hard to remove. So maybe it has that going for her.
Yeah. But we have more cards yet to see in Amber, so maybe we will get that one drop.
Yeah. I know
that'd be
some
nice.
people are talking about this slushy card, like
Oh yeah.
the 4 for 5/5 evasive. I think the problem with this card is like there's just too many Ruby uninkables. So like this is probably like the 20th best Ruby uninkable card in Ruby, right? So I don't think this card is going to see much play. I think one uninkable card that Ruby will probably see play is like the Loot. You see that
Kristoff's
the one.
Loot?
Yeah, I think that card as like a singleton is like pretty strong. It's very reminiscent of, to me, like the Carpet Bag and like the Great Stone Dragon. Like if you just have that one copy, you can just go infinite with it. So I think this, if like Ruby Sapphire ever does see play, like Ruby Sapphire items or something like that with like Scrooge, I think this card is going to be pretty strong. Just as a one up though, because you know there's just too many uninkables in Ruby, and you kind of have to balance it out somehow, right? So you really can't run too many of these.
Yeah. Somebody, so a couple comments to catch up on in the chat. Somebody's pointing out that we do have a 2-cost Pocahontas in Amethyst, which I
2 costs
find.
not good enough.
not good enough. We need that. I'll find it. Yeah, I'll have to find it here. Oh, there it is. Yeah, and uninkable.
Oh man.
Oh geez.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? Like when you evaluate cards, I think I've said this before, but it's like you have to think about when the card is going to be good, right? So it's like if you can't even visualize like when it's going to be good, then it's probably not going to be very good. But if you find like a time where it's like, okay, actually if this fits in like perfectly into this curve or against a certain matchup, I think that's when like a card has potential. Big red dog, Copper the dog.
Yeah, Copper.
Like bad Maui allegedly.
Yeah,
Oh,
new
yeah.
Maui.
Yeah. So I did think about this card. It's like
Yeah, find it.
the problem with it now is like everyone's just playing evasives, right? So I don't think this card is going to get very much value. And I think the 5 health it's a 8/5, right? Something like that. Yeah, 8/5. 5 is actually quite bad. If you look at the meta where it is right now, like all the good cards that you want to attack all have 5 strength. So basically you're trading like 100% of the time, right? Like, you know, the Clarabelle and like the Demona and like what's the other card? Like even Basil, right? All these cards just have 5 strength. So I don't think this card will get much value, and we're also kind of still in invasive war kind of meta. So I think for 6 is just like not doing enough, right? Like if you just compare this to like Demona, it's like a completely different universe, right? So yeah, I don't think this card is going to be very good.
Yeah, that's Color pointed out what I was just about to say. I agree with you. I don't think it's great now. I think interestingly, they've shown a lot of like locations. They've revealed a lot of location synergy this set, trying to make locations matter again. And if we got a couple like Library or Queen's Castles type cards, which were incredibly relevant with high willpower, this is basically your location killer.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's the only time this card is super relevant.
Yeah. Might play one if that ever happens, but honestly, the locations don't even seem that good, to be honest. Like, in this set so far, anyway, right? Like what is this card? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't ever imagine when is this good, right? Is my question, and I really cannot think of any situation.
Yeah, this one is not. It's also not great, but it's like super flavorful. I just love this card for the flavor. Because
I mean, it has 8 willpower, I guess. That's kind of neat. It's kind of hard to remove.
The funny thing about this card, there's an item in Steel, Darkwing's, whatever it is, which makes all your opposing characters villains. So so it's just, this is not good competitively, but like in a fun, like, you know, casual deck, it's just a ton of fun. All right, I'll stop.
I don't remember when I last played casual Lorcana.
Yeah, right.
Like, I don't have enough time for competitive Lorcana.
What is that?
You know what I mean?
Somebody, Fungus asked earlier about RED, the emerald item. I don't know what that is.
The emerald item. It's almost birthing pod.
Oh, is that the evolution? No, it's not the evolution.
Oh, the thing where you can like pop a guy. I know Fungus thinks that card's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what's the situation like. Are we popping like a Diablo or something, or like what's the deal with this?
There we go.
Like I don't see it yet, but like if you tell me what the combo is, I'll let you know if I think it's very good or not.
I don't know.
It's so good. How?
Yeah, but
Can
why?
somebody explain it to me?
I'm kind of in the same boat as Ed. Like,
Yeah.
I look at it, I'm just like, what character do I think is worth banishing for 4 ink to play something for 2 less?
Prince Philip off a Surfer Stitch. Okay. MMS Philip with 4 ink. Wait, what? Does that work? That doesn't work, right? You need two up to 2 or more. Yeah, that doesn't work, right? Doesn't Philip cost 9?
Yeah.
Or am I?
Yeah, so you need it off the Surfer Stitch. Yeah.
Oh, you can repeat it every turn. Wait, what?
So basically what it's saying is you can evolve every turn. So one turn you turn a 4 into a 6, the next turn you turn a 6 into an 8. You know, and so you're stair stepping.
I see. You're like I see. I see. Tipo Cindy. Okay, I see. Okay,
Yeah.
honestly, like this type of thing is so gimmicky. You need like very specific cards on your curve for this to work, right? And in addition, this card is also a card in itself, right? So you need to also expend this card to get all those effects. So yeah, I don't know about that one. I can shift to play.
You also
I
have
don't
to
know why
hope it
we
doesn't
wanna
get
do
ripped
that.
by Mowgli or Timon.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is like very interesting because I don't know if you watched like Spessie's like new video about like synergies versus non-synergy cards. This is one of the perfect examples. Like, why would you play a synergy card when you could just play like a non-synergy card that just like does the thing better, right? Like, I think the problem is like there's nothing like, I mean, this card is like cool, but it's like so much like build around, and like what is the payoff, right? Like all the things that you guys are describing, you could just play those cards raw, right? You can play Tipo raw, you can play a Cindy if you want, you can play, Prince Philip and then like shift it on himself. Like all these things already have like their own inherent way of playing the card, right? Just by playing the card instead of having to do this kind of jumping through hoops thing, right? And I think that's kind of the problem right now with like these new Lorcana cards. There's just too much like hoop jumping versus like I just want to play like a good card. Like let's say I'm top decking, someone just bend to my will. I'm drawing cards off the top. I draw this retro evolution device. I'm like, what am I doing with my life? So that's like what I want to try to avoid.
Sorry, that's funny. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those cards like and no disrespect to anybody who's trying to break this card in the chat. I appreciate you all. But it does strike me as one that what's going to happen is people will tinker with it. It's not going to see a lot of play. It'll see some play in like leagues and stuff. But then someone's going to come into a DLC with a deck built around it and just go on a tear. There's going to be like 8 of these in the entire room, and like somebody's going to crack something, and it's just because nobody's playing around it, and it's just going to do silly things. I don't know.
Well, if you remember, that kind of happened in Seattle with the Amber Steel Locations deck that ended up making top 64.
Yeah.
And like no one knew what he was doing, and so he just like got away with it scot free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I mean, it's not going to be me probably, but
no.
Dude, it could never be me because I'm gonna immediately run into the people that just run me into the dirt. But like,
yeah.
A lot of people asking about the green Mulan.
Not
yeah,
this card. Yeah,
this dog's monstrosity.
It looks on paper, it looks insane, right? But it's like I think the problem is how often do you think you'll ever get to give her that much attack, right? Like, let's say that most ideal scenario, you play like 1-drop Mulan, and then you play like maybe 2 more things with a lady, and then you can play Tramp, right? And you can give it, whatever 4 attack, and you can quest for 5. I guess that's like the ideal scenario, right? But I think the problem is like after that, then what, right? You basically have like a do nothing card that doesn't really get to the end. And this card also requires a lot of setup, right? So I think that's why inherently this card also quests for 0. So I think there's also too much setup for this card for it to be good, versus like, let's just say you play a 2-quester instead, right? Like probably on average, that 2-quester is just going to be better,
Yeah, it's a setup requires. I mean, yeah. The funny thing about cards like this, like if there's an argument to be made for them, it's that now your opponent has to respect it, or at least, I don't know.
Oh, quest for 1, actually, yeah.
Um,
VV Underline, quest for 1. It has 1 attack. Yeah, that's true.
yeah,
Okay, quest for 1. But probably if you have something that quest for 2 is probably still better on average. Probably.
yeah. But that's the thing, like, so if you drop this on the board, you know, if you're sitting at like 13, 14, you know, even 12, like lore, and you play this card, now you've changed the math for your opponent and they have to go, oh man. So now, you know, that could potentially be, you know, game next turn or not. And so it's one of those that like forces your opponent to kind of like change and play around it. Because it could represent game, even though it requires a setup.
I mean, I think
go
that's kind of the power of the card. You put it on the board and immediately it's like you have to answer this or you lose. And maybe through that they set up a go-go play. I don't know. I think it's a trap card that like has a lot of like answer this or lose, but also if you answer this, you probably get stuck losing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. But I don't know what is this card better than, I guess. Like, let's say
That's the
you're
hard
playing, like,
part,
green,
right?
yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it's better than. Someone said Lady, this, Tiana, Mowgli, Tramp. I see. Quest for 6 with the Tramp. Okay. That's like not that crazy. I've seen like this kind of opener before. You just go 1, 2, Tiana, something else quest. Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
But then,
Maybe
like to your
we'll
point,
add
you have to
maybe
like
pile.
you have to figure out like what you're cutting to fit in Mulan's.
Yeah. That's the hard part. Like a lot of the cards in that green yellow deck is already pretty strong. So I'm not really sure what to cut yet.
Because then you have to think about like, is this card better than Pudge?
Yeah, I mean Pudge is pretty strong. I think someone will probably break Pudge. Like anytime you get to do something for free, that's like always been pretty strong. So yeah, I think that card's pretty promising.
I gotta get back to my Instagram page. There we go. Yeah. What other? I don't know. I'm trying to think of. Dragon is saying, think red, green, and not dogs.
Oh, I see. With like Lumiere, someone said with Lumiere you can get extra attack on them. Okay, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't really try to think about aggro strategies that much. It's just if they show up, then I'll think about it for 2 seconds and then go back to my day.
Yeah. I guess it does. It does give dogs or a deck like dogs some insane early lines. But dogs already had like some insane lines where you're doing like 2-3 tramps on turn 4 or whatever on the draw. But it just gives it another like bonkers opening.
I think Steven said LeFou.
Oh,
Nobody broke
wow.
like LeFou. I think the problem with like LeFou being free is that it's like very situationally free. I think Lilo, like just having a Lilo on board is way easier to like just have on the board, right? So I think that's why I think that card's like a lot better, just because like the situation is not that crazy, right? Especially if you play like multiple copies of Lilo. Like the 2-cost Lilo is pretty good. What are the other good Lilos? Surely there's like another good Lilo, right?
The new Steel Elo.
Oh yes, new Steel Lilo. That's already 8. I think that's already good enough. Like you play those 8 Lilos, you play Pudge. It's like fairly consistent already, I would say.
Yeah.
Because like even if you bring back like discard, like you save your Pudges for like a turn where you've just brought back a discard Lilo and then you just dump your hand of Pudges. It's like cool, go.
Yeah, exactly that, right? And I think that's why it's even better, right? Because you can always recur the Lilo if you wanted to, and that Pudge is basically always like live if you want it to be for free. Easy to dump your hand.
Somebody's asked about the Emerald Donald, and I'm
The legendary?
I guess I'm trying to find it.
Legendary Donald. I think it was towards the bottom.
Probably. That's why it's not on my radar anymore, because it was revealed so long ago. Yeah, no, can't find it. Can't find it.
Donald Duck Fred Honeywell?
I saw it at the bottom, I promise.
Oh, it's like the 4-cost. Whenever you use the boost ability, you may put the top card of your deck under them face down. During your opponent's turn, whenever one of your other characters is banished, you may draw a card for each card that was under them.
There it is.
I think this card is too situational. Probably, like if you think about it, when you have to boost, you need to play it basically off curve, right? Like you're never gonna be able to like boost with like it's very hard to have this guy out and then boost, right? First, you have to have this guy basically sit for an entire turn, and then you have to boost, or you wait until like turn 6 or something, and then you get this effect. Whereas at that point, like this effect is not as strong. So, and the stats, I think 4/4. I mean, it's fine, it's reasonable, but I think it's just this is like another one of those cards where it's like too much setup for it to be good.
Yeah.
Unless you play I think there was a new card revealed today, Rue, where it's like a 1/1/1 with the character underneath. Like if you play Rue and like a green blue Rue boost deck, okay, maybe. But yeah, that also is like a kind of a little bit of a setup. But I mean, this is probably one of the more like reasonable things if you're trying to play that Donald Duck.
Yeah, it's adorable. Rue's like hopping in Kanga's pocket here. Just,
actually, does that work? It doesn't even work, right? Rue and Donald Duck. Actually, it doesn't even work. Never mind. I don't think it works that way.
Does it not?
Because you have to use the boost ability. Because this one just says put this character under. Yeah.
He doesn't trigger that. It would still draw you a card. It still would serve as card draw. But yeah, it wouldn't trigger that ability. Yeah. I don't know. I like seeing like archetypes like developing, and I do think there's a world in which in a couple sets, like the whole boost synergy, we're gonna get a few more cards that just make it cracked. And you can see what they're going for. I agree. It's not quite there yet, though.
I mean, the best boost synergy right now is just bouncing that entire stack back to your hand, right? Like Madam Elephant or Olaf or something. That's just the best synergy so far. You just draw the whole stack back. So
yeah, that's right. Olaf on turn 1, and then you play the cat, and you're like,
you're about to draw like at least 4 cards. Yeah. Maybe that's the synergy. You play purple, green Donald Duck boost deck or something. That's like kind of fun, right? Because you get extra cards, so yeah, maybe actually.
Then just run Olaf and Mim and just bounce all the boost cards back.
Yeah. Somebody said Rue with Mickey, Brave Little Prince. Okay, they're cooking. That's a lot of lore very early. But I think even cards like that, the problem is like if they see that coming, like they'll just try to like banish your Mickey before he even does anything right. Especially if everyone's like just ramping into Elsa, right? Basically, right now I think the problem is like there's an Elsa problem in the game, right? Like ramp Elsa problem. So it's like if your card just doesn't do anything, it's just gonna get attacked, and then you just straight up lose the game a lot of the time. So unless like they do something about that, or like people stop playing Elsa, which I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon. A lot of these kind of do nothing cards are not gonna be very strong.
Yeah. The new artwork between Kang and Rue, yeah, absolutely beautiful. Reed, come out and fight. I will have to pull that card up again.
It's Amethyst, isn't it? Yeah, there it is.
Oh, this.
Yep.
Oh,
love the artwork.
Another situational card, man. Like it does. Yeah. I mean, okay. Worst case, you just draw a card, right? That's pretty good, right? But yeah, I guess it has like a decent upside. It's kind of like Hypnotic Strength in a way, right? It's like, would you rather draw Hypnotic Strength or this card? Because like basically they're like taking the same spot. But the other problem with this card is it doesn't target, right? So if people are playing like banished characters, like this doesn't even like touch those things at all.
Yeah.
So I think because of that, like I don't think this card is very playable.
I mean, like this is one of those things that I think future proofs boost to a way. Like if some insane boost energy comes out, you always have to be wary of this card.
Even then, I think people just try to remove the card, right? Instead of let me just tuck all your cards underneath, instead of just let me just
just banish it.
Just bash it. Just call it a day,
Well, I mean, so like in the case of the new Wreck-It Ralph, I think this is something that like you want to take the cards out from under him before you banish him.
That's true. I don't see anybody playing that Wreck-It Ralph though. That card is so slow, man.
Yeah,
you're gonna
let's build our own B prep, dude. Come on.
Yeah. John Smith.
Yeah.
Post must choose character for action. Okay, this is kind of fun. This is like one of those like super taunt cards, right?
Yeah. I like this card.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about where it fits in like the current meta game, though, it's kind of strange because if you like ramp into this card, it's not great, right? Because you won't really have anything to protect at the time. But if you play it in like an Amethyst Steel kind of thing, maybe it's okay, but it's like an uninkable, and like that deck right now has like kind of tight uninkable slots because you really want to play stuff like Doc. Because you basically have to compare this to Doc, right? It's like if you draw both of these, like a John Smith and a Doc, it's like you're not really in a great spot. And a lot of the time you rather just play Doc and like dump your whole hand, right? So I don't think it also fits in that archetype. So I think the problem with this card is like it doesn't really fit in any of the existing archetypes, and like the way it's statted and it's uninkable, I think it's gonna be like kind of a hard sell to like fit it anywhere.
Yeah, I tend to agree. The one fun thing about this card for me is it really depends on what the meta looks like, because it can be super disruptive to certain synergies. The fact that even positive effects like support you'd have to choose this character for means that there are certain decks and there's certain, or even like Tramp coming down. You know, I think Tramp because Tramp can augment any character, right? Not just your own character strength. So like if that's a combo that you're setting up, you know, John Smith would take that too. So there's all sorts of little things that can disrupt. And if the meta falls in a place where he's able to disrupt enough decks, like key synergies or strategies or interactions, he could be interesting. But 5 uninkable is a tough ask.
And the stats are kind of, I mean, they're okay. Like honestly, 3/6 is quite bad, I would say right now. Like, but I don't know what would be like a reasonable like rate on this card, right? Like, you can't really make it that much stronger, or else it's gonna be too strong then, right? Like if you made it like a 5/6, okay, that's just too insanely good. So 4/6, I still probably wouldn't play it. So like it literally needs to be a 5/6, and I'll maybe think about it, you know? Because then the upside is like now you actually have to like try to fight it, right? I think the problem is like that card you could just fight it. 3/6, don't care, just attack it like with literally anything, and then it'll you know come down.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, Fungus saying, I honestly expected this set to be a higher power level compared to, let me do this right, compared to Whispers. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm interested to see where it goes with the last few reveals. There have been some fun cards. The one thing I will say, and you kind of mentioned this earlier, Ed, talking about Timon is kind of a catch-up card. We are seeing, I think, a decent number of cards, most of them in Amber, though, with the underdog ability and cards which function as kind of catch-up cards. And I do wonder if one of the things they're trying to play with this set is to kind of find subtle ways to address the play-draw disparity and to see if they can deal with that in an interesting way. So I do wonder if that's one of the goals in this set, and I'm interested to see if that plays out.
I mean, the one that they revealed, I mean, is there a couple? I only saw the one where it's like a 2 for 2/2 evasive, and it costs 1 if you're on the draw. But it's like, is like a 2/2 evasive for 1 even that good on the draw? Like, is that enough of an impact for you to be like, oh, I'm quite happy to be on the draw. Let me just play my 2/2 evasive quest for 1, right? Like, honestly, I don't think it's enough. And I don't think that card is even going to see play. So
it's certainly not better than Angel, right?
Yeah.
No, it's the Angel. Yeah, that's more.
Yeah.
More of a draw. I think.
Yeah, Angels may be playable, but definitely not the 2/2 evasive.
Yeah. Anyway, well, this has been fun. Any last requests though before we, or do we miss any big ones that we need to talk about? Mulana maybe is the one that like everybody thought was nuts when she was first revealed, but I don't know. I'm not super sold on.
Which
the Emerald one?
The ink from your discard.
Oh, that's Moana.
I'm sorry, Moana.
I'm really high on that card. I think that card's insane.
Yeah. Okay, sell me on it.
Well, I mean, it's mostly the Cindy thing, right? You go Cindy, you go to 5, and then you can play this, and then you ink like your sale that you played previously, right? Like, obviously, I mean, it's a 2-card combination. Like, honestly, 2-card combinations, not that crazy. And if you don't get the 2-card combination, then it's like, you know, you just ink it, right? I know a lot of people say that you ink it, but there's also just, it's a plus, right? Like at the end of the day, basically no matter what, you can play this and you can, you know, get 1 card off of it. And I think the Princess energy is actually very, very relevant, right, with the Cindy. So I think any deck that plays Cindy, you probably have to play this card, and you can preserve a lot of cards in hand, right? Let's say you don't want to ink from your hand, like all your cards are good in your hand, right? You can just go Cindy Moana. Before you had to go like Cindy, right? And this card also quests for 2. I think that's also pretty relevant. 4/4 is also not bad for a body. So, yeah, I think this card is pretty strong.
That's fair. The princess synergy I hadn't registered to me. To me, it says like draw a card every turn, which is good. You know,
That's insane.
But,
Draw a card every turn. It's really good.
yeah, it's beast. You know, it's beast tragic hero, and you know he's out to play. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I thought it was good. I didn't think of it as busted. But the princess synergy also.
This is one of the cards that I think if you like, you look at it from a control mirror standpoint. Like Ruby Sapphire played Greystone Dragon, and generally the player that got out Greystone Dragon was the one that could win first because they just got to keep all their cards in hand. She's kind of Greystone Dragon-esque, but she quests for 2, so better.
Yeah. And also, I think it's also because Sapphire has like develop your brain specifically, right? Like basically develop your brain is like gonna turn this card on like no matter what. Because you turn 1 develop, you get it. If you also do the Cindy thing, because if you go Cindy, you go to 5, right? Then you play Moana, ink the card. Where I guess you need to have the develop beforehand or the sale beforehand. But once you get like those type of cards like flowing, you basically always get to ink. You always have something in your discard that you can ink from, and you can also like visions into something, right? And then you can start inking your visions, for example. So I think this card basically will always get your guaranteed card, and like it's a threat on its own, right? Like being able to like present threats and even challenge. Like the 4 like strength is very relevant, right? Like aggressive strategies have a lot of like 4 willpower type cards, and just being able to like stick this card and like challenge it is like pretty strong already.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm sold a little more now. Fungus pointing out, the meta has to be the format has to be a little bit slow for it to be worth it, but I mean and maybe it'll be a little more aggressive. Well, it'll likely be a lot more aggressive now with Amber Steel running around and some of the Amber cards we got. But in the mirror, or if Ruby Sapphire items becomes a thing again, it's gonna be good.
Yeah,
I like it.
I mean, you can go straight to Under the Sea also, right? You go Cindy, you go straight to 8 ink, right? And even if they pop your guys, you can still just hard cast it if you need to. So I think that setup is also like pretty strong.
Well, man, I could honestly, Ed, I say this to everyone, but definitely true here. I could go through every single card with you, because hearing how you think about each card, how you assess it, and where you see it fitting is super insightful. So, but I will spare you that. We won't do this all night. Logan, are there any cards that we missed that we should talk about before we kind of wrap up?
Off the top of my head, no. I think we hit all of the current heavy hitters that everyone's been kind of screaming about.
Yeah. So final question for you, Ed. Out of all the cards we looked at,
yep,
what is the one that you are, I guess most excited is the wrong way to put it, but most interested in? What is the one where you're like, that card I think is really cool. I can't wait to play with it, or it's going to see a lot of play. Yeah,
I mean, personally, I think it's Moana, just because like right now I play like green blue, right? And I think that's like the next card that slots perfectly into it. I remember at the beginning of the set, I really like thought Cindy wasn't that good, but now that I play with the card a lot, like that card is really, really good, right? And then Moana is basically the best, tag team with that card specifically. And now you can basically put that with any color combination, right? But the problem before was in Sapphire, there's actually no other good princesses. All the princesses are actually quite bad. Like the next best one was like Aurora, right? The 5 cost ward giving one.
Yep.
But now we have this Moana. Like there's actually a lot more like nutted combinations that you can hit. And if there's some decks that can use a lot of ink, starting from 8 and over, then I think this like is going to be a perfect combination for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a good point. I hadn't thought about the fact that it does open up, other color combos to that ramp combo. I do have to address it because Greg's saying in the chat here a couple times, is this set for both of you? Like, is this set geared more towards Infinity? My answer on this is like, I don't know that sets are geared more towards one format or the other. I think everyone has core constructed in mind and just managed to augment Infinity. But will this set have a huge impact on, or which cards do you think will have a big impact on the Infinity meta? I haven't been playing it much, honestly, so I haven't gotten ready for Indy yet.
I mean, we still have like almost 100 cards left to reveal.
True.
So again, like I'm kind of in the mindset of like the one set where we're seeing a bunch of cool things, and then all of a sudden the last 2 cards revealed were Tamatoa Bell. So
yeah, yeah.
Until Friday, like we have so many cards left to get revealed that like something could just get revealed. And we're all just like, oh, okay, well, cool. Power level we thought this was is not valid anymore.
Yeah, it's hard to say, right? Until I guess all the cards are released. I guess like I think the main thing right now in Infinity, I would say like probably the best deck, I would say, is probably Sapphire Steel. So I think the first thing people are going to look at are like the items, right? That kind of come with the new set. And then I think like what's that called? Infra Pink Ultra Scan Specs. When you play it, you can draw a card and discard a card, where you can loot. You also give something alert.
Yeah.
I think those type of cards are pretty strong. It just gives like extra redundancy, right? I mean, right now there's already basically enough kind of items, but you can like kind of cycle through them if you think some of them like are not good enough. Because I know some of them are kind of meta dependent, but probably not. Like what's that called? Like Ingenious Machine or something, where it's like you pop it and you can device where you can pop it and like do
the bomb.
damage. The bomb, yeah. Like maybe there's some metas where that card isn't good. Like that's probably like it could be the best or the weakest card, right? So you can kind of cycle out the items. So I think the first thing people are going to look at is probably like the items because of the prevalence of Sapphire Steel in Infinity format. And I think every set they basically try to add at least like 1 or 2 kind of Sapphire Steel items, and like you can kind of reevaluate from there.
Yeah, Sapphire Steel items. No, yeah. Well, I can't wait to the next few cards. I think by next week, we will have them all, at least by Tuesday morning is the way it usually works. So, can't wait to see the rest of the set. Ed, thanks so much for stopping by. This, especially on short notice, this was a treat. And we'll have to have you back when the whole set's released and to see what you think about where things are going. What's next for you? Do you have any big events or CCQs coming up?
Yeah, we're going to Hong Kong this weekend, and then we're going to Melbourne, then we're going to Ghent, then we're going to Taiwan, and then we're going to, so wherever Lorcana takes me, so
all the events.
I'm excited. Yeah, but I think Melbourne will be fun just because it's like 1 week right after set release, right? So it's like the meta hasn't really been solved yet, allegedly, or maybe some people have like a secret deck they're bringing that they've been cooking up for a long time. So I think those tournaments are always the most fun, right? Like totally unsolved. Somebody really can just break it and win the tournament that way. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I can't wait to see what you and the rest of the team do. You all will be everywhere, and yeah, I can't wait to see. Can't wait to see. So I'll just leave it.
Try our best.
Can't wait to see. But thanks again, Ed. I appreciate you stopping by, and you're welcome back anytime.
Okay, I'll see you at the end of the set. Bye.
See, I tried to time it right. I'm sorry, Ed. I tried to time it right, and I cut you off. But yeah, we'll probably do. I'll see if Ed wants to come back next week. We'll get his full thoughts. Logan, any closing thoughts? How do we do moving through stuff?
I'm excited for Winterspell. I don't know. Like I was talking to Tiago in Richmond, and I was like, "Man, what's your schedule look like for like the next couple of months?" And he just kind of looked at me with like this look. And I was like, "What? Are you good, man?" And he was like, "I'm going everywhere." And I was like, "Are you okay?" He was like, "I need sleep." So like, huge shout out to those guys. They're constantly competing. They're constantly having to test. They're playing in different metas like every other weekend, depending on where they're going. So they're having to stay just sharp on past and future Lorcana. So it's insane. But no, I guess my final closing thoughts. I'm ready for Winterspell. I have at least 2 CCQs planned. One being Ink, one being the ETB CCQ that was announced up in Canada. I think that's at the end of March. So I have those 2 for sure. I am bound and determined to get my Continentals invite, whether it be before or at Indianapolis. So,
yeah, I'm sure you will. I mean, you're knocking on the door, and every event, and Yeah, it's only a matter of time.
I will not let lack of grinding or practice be the reason for it. So, like I said, starting this weekend after the reveals get out, Maelstrom is officially starting our team testing nights, and any CCQ you see us at, we will be much more prepared than we ever have been. I can promise you that.
Well, you all are prepared for every event, so it scares me to think that they'll be more prepared. Yeah, I don't know. All right, we should wrap. I appreciate all of you, Logan. I appreciate you hanging out as always on Monday night.
What else am I doing on a Monday night?
Nothing. There's nothing else to do. There's not.
No, I blanket off my calendar every Monday because I get to talk to my friend Liam.
No, we are. Yeah. And Steven in the green room is like, we are professionals. But thank you all for hanging out with us as well. We'll be back next Monday night at the normal time to talk Whispers in the Well reveals and upcoming events. One note, if you're just getting here, Ink Inc. will be sponsoring a Whispers. They're too close. A Winterspell box giveaway next week on the stream. We'll give it away. So you have to be here next week and we'll tell you how to enter. So bookmark the show, set your alarms, come back next week and you could win a box of Winterspell. Thanks again to our Patreon supporters who help make the show possible. If you want to check out our Patreon, you can in the show notes. And last shout out, unless I miss anything, check out Illuminator Tales on Instagram. You've seen me using her page. This is May. She a big supporter of the channel, and she's very, very good about posting card reveals like immediately as they happen, and has set trackers and everything else, makes awesome content. So if you're not following Illuminator Tales on Instagram, you totally should, because May is amazing and a wonderful member of the community as well. What I missed, Logan?
Nothing. I think we hit all of our major news.
All right. Well, see y'all next week.